So there's some big things going on in the December 2022 housing report, and I want to share the numbers behind the numbers. So let's get started. Hey everybody, Bob Mangold here. All right, on Friday, existing home sales for December of 2022 were released, and there's some pretty encouraging numbers, and there's some numbers behind the numbers that it's important for you to understand. So first, sales decreased 1.5% month over month, which is not a big surprise because, well, it's December. You're closed for almost a week out of the 4 weeks. It's not an unusual pace for homes to close at, right? Now, it was better than expectations, and sales were down 34% year over year. No nice way to sugarcoat that, right? The median home price dropped 1% month over month to $367,000. Now, that's the median price. Understand, the median price means for every home sold above $367,000, there was one sold below $367,000. That is much different than appreciation. Now, with the drop in million-dollar properties selling and people looking, because of higher interest rates, to buy at a lower purchase price, that's naturally going to drop the median sales price. But again, it only dropped by 1%. That's up 2.3 year over year. But I want to caution you, that's not appreciation. It's the mix of homes sold above and below that $367,000 price point. Now, inventory dropped to 970,000 units from 1.14 last month. Now, some pretty shocking news on inventory. Inventory fell to 970,000 units from 1.14 million last month. So that number continues to decline. But remember, it is not unusual in the month of December to see the number of listings decline. So it's not any earth-shattering news to the market, but one of the things that everybody keeps talking about and trying to scare the public, home prices are going to drop. And as you can see from the previous numbers, median home prices still continue to go down because, well, homes are less affordable at higher interest rates, right? It only makes sense. But 970,000 units, which is a 2.9 month supply. Here's one of the things that you hear all the time. A normal market is somewhere between 4 and 6 months or 5 and 6 months of inventory. The historical average over the last 80 years is 4.6 months of inventory. It's important to understand how this supply gets reported. Now, what does that mean? There are actually 690,000 active listings currently. There's 970,000 units, but remember, the MLSs do not report pending sales as active listings, which means there's actually only 690,000 active listings. There's about, 280,000 that are pending or under contract accepting backup. So there's actually only 690,000 homes available to purchase. That's a big difference, right? Which means we only have a 2-month supply when considering active listings. That makes a huge difference, right? If the normal is 4.6 and we're only at 2 months worth of inventory, folks, we still have the same inventory issues that we had before. Does that make sense? Again, remember, inventory cresting happens every year at this time, just the way we've talked about in the past, right? So in the months of November and December, less inventory comes on the market. January, February, and March, you'll start to see it come up gradually. And then it's that April through June is when you see the big crest in the market. This is nothing to be concerned about. This is actually pretty good news that you're just seeing a normal market going forward. And with only 2 months worth of supply, this is still a very good seller's market. Now, let's look at some other things. The average time on market is 26 days on the market. Again, folks, that's not any huge number, and 57% of all listings sold in 30 days. So again, that's pretty fast time on the market. Now, the good news is first-time home buyers jumped to 31% from 28%. Cash buyers jumped to 28% from 26%, and investors are still holding at 16% of market share. So you're still competing with investors for those listings, okay? But what's important to understand is this is for December. If you go back, homes that sold in December, that closed in December, went into contract either mid-October or early November, right, before they actually closed. Well, what was the highest peak of interest rate? It was in October. And so what we're seeing now is a lot more activity coming into the market now that interest rates are now down around 6.25, right in that range. And again, I will tell you, pay attention, circle May 10th on your calendar. It's one of the Fed reporting days, and I won't go into all the technical analysis for you, but just circle May 10th on your calendar. I think you're going to see a pretty significant drop in interest rates and inflation at that point. Okay, so that's what's going on for December of 2022 in existing home sales. So I hope that helps, and we'll talk to you next month.